Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk to you about grudges in the gaming community. Against like companies or brands or whatever. Um, Now, I'm gonna have to slap a trigger warning on this video. Just stop right here and slap that trigger warning on here. So, basically, if you're a fanboy for any brand or company, I suggest you click this video off right now. Okay then, for those of you who are still here, it's no secret today that game companies tend to screw over their fans or consumers. Some of these companies have been doing it for years, like way back since we were kids even. But here's the thing. Usually when the companies do, shitty things, I kind of just kiss it off, like, whatever. I'll get more to that towards the end of the video, but there's a lot of game companies out there that, to pull shady stuff. I'm just going to talk about 5 in particular, though. Because there are things that people will complain about that I do agree with, but in the end, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care. Literally a friend of mine will text me like, oh my god, this company is now doing this and that and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, I don't care. Let's start with Activision. Activision is well known for, basically milking franchises dry. Like, Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk games, they'd come out like literally every 6 months, and they just ran it right into the ground, And I feel like they kind of brought it back. Like the Tony Hawk games, I was like, it was like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 or something like that. But I watched I think it was FU Game Crew. I think it was their video I watched on it, and I was like, it doesn't look that good. Like, not compared to like the older ones or whatever. It doesn't look fun. We'll put it that way. It was kind of, yeah. And like Guitar Hero, I feel like they tried to bring that back with the music games, but it's like, how many people even still care about music games? I mean, maybe some still do. I know. I feel like it's kind of a trend that's come and gone. You know what I mean? Sorry, I had fried chicken for dinner. That's what she said. But anyway, that's why with Activision, I'm surprised that I was never really into Call of Duty. I have nothing against the people who play it, but it's just, how is that franchise still going? Like, it's the same thing. They come out so frequently, yet it's still going. Skylanders is another one. I liked them at first, but it just reached the point that it's like, you figure, with each new game, there's new characters, so, and each of these characters cost, the toys, or whatever you want to call them, the Skylander figures cost at least $10, or at least here in Massachusetts, they're $10, so, let's say you bought 14 of them. You do the math, that's $200 you spent on a single game. Yet there's a new Skylanders game, yet every single year, at least since 2011. Next, let's talk about Konami. Yeah. Konami is just so... I don't even know where to begin. I mean, the stories that I've heard, like, when they had, cameras that they were monitoring everyone, all their employees, hovering over them and shit, that would drive me insane. You know what that reminds me of? When you're in, middle school, and you're writing an essay, and then the teacher's, hovering over you, nope, that makes no sense, you gotta change that right now. That shit drove me nuts. That's what this shit, the Konami, reminds me of, and that's just a little bit of it, like the icing on the cake. They did so much other stuff. They just drove away all their best developers. Now the company's just literally a shell of what it once was. But they've talked about trying to make a comeback. I mean, hell, I think it was Review Tech USA did a video on it that it was about how they're trying to make a comeback. It's but will it work? Is it too late? I don't know. A funny thing was that somebody in the comment section was like, fuck Konami, fuck Capcom, fuck Ubisoft, etc., which I'll get back to that person towards the end of the video. But yeah, Konami's just, I don't know. Maybe if they can bring some stuff back, we'll see. The cat's meowing because he wants to leave. Come here. Next is Capcom. Now Capcom, well, first of all, they're known for killing off franchises like Mega Man. Um, and they're also so obsessed with DLC. Like, oh man. Yet Capcom, I mean, both these companies, Capcom and Konami, back in the day, they just, like, 90s especially, they just, like, going back to the 16-bit era, they made, like, so many masterpieces. Just, like, when it was their own IP, like, even just, like, look at some of the games that Konami made, just, like, one game, like, Metal Warriors, or, what the hell was it called? Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Granted, there was technically two if you count, Ghoul Patrol, but you know what I'm saying? It's like they make one game and it's just so good. And then they have their franchises like Contra and Castlevania. List goes on, but even like Capcom and Konami, also back in the day, they made literally the best, in my opinion, they made the best licensed games. Like look at all the Konami arcade beat 'em ups that were exclusive to the arcade, like the X-Men one and the Simpsons one. Granted, they came out years later on Xbox Live and PSN. I don't think you can get them anymore, but Capcom, like I said, now it's just they're just so, I don't know, they're just greedy basically. Next is Microsoft or Xbox, which I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't have a lot of interest in the Xbox One, not because of the pre-launch, whatever you want to call it. Like, I didn't really have any interest in it, but then I was like, I got one from a contest, long story. I mentioned it in other videos. But it's just funny. I mean, I'll admit the pre-launch policies for Xbox One were complete bullshit. And there was just, they were just damage control and everything. It was, what the hell, Don Metric, or whatever the hell his name was, just really soured the Xbox brand. And it's, that's why they got rid of him. And Phil Spencer's a lot better, I actually really like Phil Spencer, because, for one thing, I mean, maybe his business decisions aren't too great here and there, but one thing I really respect him for is he's an actual gamer. And not only that, here's the, like, business executive, whatever you want to call him, for Xbox, for the Xbox brand. Yet he also plays PS4 games. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a Switch, or plans on getting one, or a Wii U, or whatever. He probably plays games on PC and everything. Like, that's just the way he is. And he's actually called out fanboys, or just, like, fanboy trolls, whatever you want to call them, that give him shit. But that's the thing that's, like, again, I agree that the pre-launch policies for the Xbox One are bullshit and all that, but it's like funny yet sad how people just, it's been 4 years and people just will not let it go. It's just like, oh my god, get over it. Again. And then finally, Nintendo. Yeah. Here comes the cat. Come here. This is a different one. He hasn't been in any videos. Hello, this is Sylvester. And he's gonna leave. My bed's right here. But anyway, Nintendo, I'm gonna be quite frank. I love Nintendo, but I hate their business decisions. And I know, like, oh, but how would you know? Yeah, granted, I don't own a business or anything, but whatever. You gotta think about the consumers, because if consumers leave, if they all walk away, you're screwed. You need customers to survive. So anyway, let's talk about Nintendo, the things that they've done. Like, for one thing, I don't know if I'd call it censorship, but, well, they have been known to do that over the years. If you look, especially back in the day, look at a lot of their older games, it's somewhat back today. Not as bad as it was back then, I don't think. And then there's, what was it? Their systems are just, I feel like they're always a generation behind. Like, let me put it this way. Back in the mid-90s, Sony and Sega were taking the next step in making CD consoles. Sega Saturn and the PlayStation were both CD consoles. But then then they had the N64, which was still using cartridges, and it drove away a number of developers, or third-party developers, like, obviously the biggest one being Squaresoft, or Square Enix, what do you want to call them now. And, so that's just one right there. Then, let's go over to the 6th generation, where the GameCube, although it was a good system, I really like the game. I like all these systems, to be honest with you. The GameCube was, well, a top-loading CD system, much like the PS1 and the Sega Saturn. But now the PS2 had basically a disc drive, and so did the original Xbox. And here's the GameCube with basically what a last-gen CD system console was like. Plus, the discs were a lot smaller, which made it harder for developers to make games for it, or third-party developers. And we'll go to the 7th gen. The Wii, Xbox 360 and PS3 were like HD systems. The Wii was not. And the other thing was that, I know people have said this before, the Wii was literally just like a beefed up GameCube. That's really all it was. Like, it was like it was a GameCube on steroids. I think some people will put it that way. And I don't know. And it was just. And then the same thing with the Wii U. It's just the Wii U was more like an Xbox 360, whereas like it wasn't like the same as a PS4 or an Xbox One. So that's all stuff. And then, oh my God, the gimmicks. I think what had happened. So the Switch, I do think, has a lot of potential, and it is, it sold like 5 million units. So, and I can only imagine what the sales will be like around the holidays. So if this keeps up, this system might outsell the Wii U in literally a year, which is a good sign in my opinion. But it's just, I think the Wii was, I know I stutter a lot, sorry. The Wii it sold off of a gimmick. Yeah, it sold 100 million units. However, the reason for that is because it was bundled with a gimmick, and it was marketed towards the casual audience before smartphones and tablets. Which is what most casual gamers play with nowadays, or people who like soccer mom type of people. It's like Wii was a system that. My aunt bought a Wii, she's probably in her 60s. She bought one specifically for the Wii Fit. But she's not going to go out and buy like Smash Brothers or anything like that. And I think that's the thing. That's why like the Wii U was a gimmick, the Switch is a gimmick, which granted it does have like, I don't, that dog face controller, I wouldn't mind trying it myself, I don't know, but it's just, I think what it is that, like, because the Wii, it's literally their biggest selling console, home console of all time, and it sold 100 million units, like I said. So I feel like they're just like, oh, nope, see, gimmicks sell. Like, so that's why they just made the Wii U a gimmick and the Switch is a gimmick, because they're just, so many people have said it, they're just chasing the ghost of the Wii. But it was like I said, it was just because it was marketed at the right time. Granted, I have seen people from the casual audience buying a Switch. So that's another thing. Then there's the limited quantity thing, and then just discontinuing, like the NES Classic Edition. I was like, it's one of those things, yeah, I'd like to have it, but it's okay if I don't get one. But the SNES, that one is, that's like, I keep going back and forth. Chances are I most likely will get one. It's just because my favorite system of all time. It's just like, as a collector, yeah, I really think I need to have it. But it's just like, the whole scandal with the pre-orders, like first Walmart canceling pre-orders, that I was one of the ones that got canceled. And then, sorry, my throat keeps drying up. Then, what was it, like, Best Buy and GameStop or something? They did them at like 2 in the morning. Like, the pre-orders were just instantly gone. And then, one thing is that when they come out, they're actually in stores, maybe it'll be easier to get. I don't know. Like, if they do mass produce them more, like they supposedly said they were going to do increased numbers, like, because this is just pre-orders, when the product is actually here in the stores, maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, I feel like, what's his face, Chi Guy, anyway, he made a really good video on the subject. He said, the thing with these little mini consoles is really just, it's more of just like a tease almost, is to get more people talking about Nintendo and their hardware and everything, because, and he literally said this in a video, like I said, he made a really good video on the subject, It's like Nintendo, what they really, it's like these are just a little thing out there, but it's like what they really want you to buy is the Switch, because it's, well, for one thing, it's a much more expensive piece of hardware, and it's something you buy more games for and stuff. The Switch, this Classic Edition is something you just buy it out of the box and that's it. You don't really do anything else. Once you buy it, Nintendo's not making any other money off of it. So like I said, I think it's just they just want, it's to build hype, and I think that's why they do like the limited edition type of, like, which is another thing I want to bring up, because it's like with Amiibos, they were like with Amiibos, and then with like the NES Classic Edition, they're like, oh, we didn't know it was going to be that popular. Like, really? Like, the Amiibos alone, like, let's talk about that for a sec. Oh, we didn't know they were going to be that popular. Really? Did you see the success of Skylanders? And now you're just like, oh, well, but the Classic Edition thing is like, I feel like it's just, like I said, I think it's just to build up hype, but it's such a stupid strategy because it's like, I can think of 3 people I know personally who would, they would just like walk into a Walmart and see like a mini NES or a mini Super Nintendo and be like, oh my god, I remember this thing. Oh wow, I just plug it into my TV and I'd play all these classic games. You know how many people like that are out there that would... But will these people buy a Switch? Some maybe, but majority of them, I'm going to have to say no. And that's why I think it's just such a stupid decision to kill off these little mini consoles. That being said, despite the fact that these companies do all these shitty practices, I kind of just go like, like I said, I'm just like, whatever. Well, going back to that guy in the comment section of Review Tech USA's video, he says like, fuck Konami, fuck Capcom, fuck Microsoft, fuck all Ubisoft, blah 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 blah, 10 other companies, screw all of them. One of the first replies was somebody was like, so I guess you won't be playing too many future video games, or games in the future. Which is, that's one thing, it's just, I mean, yeah, these companies do shit and stuff, but it's just like, whatever, man, what, it's just, I just kind of kiss it off, because it's like, what's the point? Like, let's say, if Nintendo really soured me, they did something that just really soured me, pissed me off, and I was like, alright, screw Nintendo, I'm not buying any more of their hardware, their games, or their accessories, anything with their name on it, like, toys or Lunchbox or whatever, nothing, not buying anything else of theirs. Is that going to stop others, literally like millions of other people, for supporting them? No, of course not. That's one of the main reasons I'm just like, when companies do stupid shit, I'm just like whatever, like, I'm not going to stop supporting them just because, they're doing something stupid, because, like I said, millions of others are still going to support them. I mean, even if you absolutely hated Nintendo, and you bought them like, Mario bed sheets for your son or your nephew or something, you're still giving them money. Because, granted, they didn't make this little thing, but it still has their name on it. They're going to get a cut of the share profit, obviously. So, that's the reason why I don't hold grudges against game companies. So, thanks for watching, folks. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, yeah, have a nice day. And thanks for watching again.